Hello, water signs. This is May. Welcome to Always Worshipper. This is my brand new creative space. What I do here is that I channel the energy. I work with different manifestations of energy or ways to interact with energy. And I created this to send these videos to the collective in English or Spanish mainly. To each of my videos is intended to reach whoever it's meant to, whenever it's meant to. Meaning that if you find me probably way in the future, or the message that I'm speaking about today here resonates with you somehow, or it helps you somehow, well, that's kind of the idea, and that's how energy works too. Remember that energy doesn't necessarily always bound to time and space. So again, if you watch me from anywhere in the world at any time, but the information that I'm bringing today for you helps you somehow or it resonates with you, well, take it, okay? You can find me on social media. I do this like at the beginning of the reading so I can get it out of the way. You can find me as at Always Worshipper, same name as this YouTube channel. I have a TikTok account that works as an oracle. If you go there, same at as this channel. And here you can find in the link section, you can find the link to my TikTok account and to my Instagram account. Instagram is just my personal account. It's really visual. I post things about spirituality every now and then. But TikTok works as an oracle, and I'm way more active with these readings over there. There you will see a bunch of videos, and you will see a picture, a random picture, and a little flag in for the US in case of English readings, and Spain for Spanish readings to determine the language of the reading. And then you can open it and just get a message in case that, you know, it works for your intuition or it helps you somehow. All my readings are meant to be timeless as well. So, um, I do this exercise of readings per signs in a monthly basis, and this is your turn for the water signs: Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Hello, guys. If any of your placements in the sun, moon, or rising signs are there, the reading will be for you. Remember that the sun sign is, well, where the sun was the day you were born, the day like your birthday sign, and the main aspects of your zodiac sign according to the natal chart. The moon sign, it talks about emotions, how we handle emotions, and the hidden parts of ourselves. And the rising sign is how you show up to the world. So again, if any of sun, moon, or rising signs are in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, sorry, I just have a little thing in my eye over there. There we go. Sorry. So if any of the sun, moon, or rising signs are in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, this reading will be for you. Okay. And again, I do this in a monthly basis based in the Witch's Pyramid, which is an analogy that mixes the elements along with sacred geometry to manifest. So the order of the elements is first is the earth, there's fire, then air, and then there's water, your element, okay? In that analogy, the Witch's Pyramid, your correspondence will be to keep silent. Remember that for manifestation, it is really important to shut up, to not reveal, like your goals, to keep things private when it comes to your manifestations, because sometimes outside energy from other people specifically can affect your manifestations. So try to keep it to yourself, at least at the beginning, while you're working on it and seeing results. And as you progress in that manifestation, you can start to reveal your intentions or your manifestations to other people. If you have a coven or if you have a group of witches around you, you can talk to them about that, because these people who work in spirituality and stuff normally wouldn't take energy from your manifestation. But with muggles or regular people, try not to reveal your intentions and your manifestations. Okay. This also makes me think about the ocean. The principle of keeping things quiet, or not revealing your manifestations, is related to the ocean too. Remember that the ocean is really deep, right? So, and it's really unexplored somehow. There are a lot of species of probably animals, plants, bacteria, and anything that we can maybe find there that haven't not even been explored, because the ocean or the sea is not as studied as it probably should be, right? Some people talk about that too, that space, we know so much about space but not so much about the ocean. So that's another way to like interpret the principle of keeping things silent and hidden beneath the surface when it comes to your manifestations. Let's talk about hidden emotions too, because remember that water in tarot is connected to cups, and it's related to emotions, to your emotional side, to love, to basically emotions. So I'm channeling right now hidden emotions. Maybe someone has hidden emotions for you. Maybe you're hiding your emotions for someone. Take it as it resonates. This is a general reading. But yeah, okay? Just channeling with your element, with water. So let's get started with the reading right away. I'm going to explain to you how it works. I have here 11 cards. This is an Argentinian oracle deck that I have. It's called Spells Oracle. And it has correspondences to planets, to archangels. It has a lot of correspondences that we can work with. So I took the water sign cards, and I'm gonna pick three cards for you so you can have information to work with. This exercise works in a monthly basis, and I mean, we're approaching the end of October, so I would like you to take it for October, but also for early November, because again, since I channel the elements per the signs per element, and you're the last, normally your reading will show up at the end of the month. But again, we can take it like for the upcoming weeks, okay? So early November will work for you too, okay? So after that, after I work with this Argentinian oracle deck, sorry, it's just that I'm born in Palo Santo, by the way, just FYI. After I select the cards and work with the Argentinian oracle deck, we'll spread some tarot too. I'm just using it to clean my cards. We're gonna use tarot too to do a general reading for you guys, and then um, we will spread some cards too per sign, so we can have a more personal reading per sign, and that's how the dynamic works when it comes to the readings per signs. Okay, so let's get started right away so we can progress with the reading. Sorry if I sound like I'm rushing, I'm not. But in the Spanish reading, this reading the water signs, because I already recorded that reading for them. That was probably the longest reading I've done so far, because with them, I guess I had to channel a lot of information. So let's see how your reading behaves. It will be probably shorter than that, I hope, because that one was really long. But yeah, okay, just FYI. Let's get started right away. So I'm gonna drop the cards randomly. And again, I'm gonna pick three cards for us. Well, for you. I'm not a water sign, but for you guys, okay? Hi to all Scorpios. Happy birthday, by the way. What in your season right now? And actually, Scorpio season is really, I find it really dark, but not in a bad way. Remember that your card is the card. Number 13 can be significant. Um, and that talks about spiritual awakening, probably an ego, or it can also talk about seeing past the illusions, and also like of something the end of a cycle, probably leaving something behind. This can be a person, this can be a job, this is general, but this is what I'm channeling with Scorpio season 2. And again, happy birthday to all Scorpios. Let's pick three cards then. So Spirit, what do we need to know for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, for the upcoming weeks? 2 and 3. I'm gonna remove the rest because basically we're not gonna use them. And just FYI, these cards are written in Spanish, okay? So, oh my god, you got one in common with Spanish. Interesting. So these are written in Spanish. I'm working on a translation file, and probably for the next water signs reading, you will see it, and I will be much faster with the translations. But as of now, I'm translating here for you. So try to be patient with me, just FYI, in case that I get stuck in translation or I need to find specific words that I don't know. But yeah, let's get started with the reading right away. Let's go with the first one, harmonization. This is a bath with rose petals, okay? So let me read the card for you. Harmonization, bath with rose petals. Herbs can help remove like fragments of energy, of emotional stuck energy, cleaning old sadness that is accumulated inside of you. If you have a bathtub, you can fill it with water and like put the rose petals, and you can also, if you can buy or if you get essential oil like rose essential oil, you can put essential oil too over there with the petals, and you like take the bath, right? So when you're there in the bathtub, you need to visualize like a profound cleansing happening within you, in your heart chakra. Probably if you have wounds to heal when it comes to, I don't know, past relationships and things about self-love or that, you need to start like feeling that cleansing and visualizing how the rose petals cleanse your aura and cleanse your, you know, the things that you need to cleanse right now. If you have a shower, you can do it like rubbing the petals on your body and feeling, especially in your heart chakra area, right? And again, visualizing the cleansing within you. For this ritual, I think it's important to do it on Fridays. It's recommended here. Remember that Friday is connected to Venus energy. And Venus is the planet of love and beauty and all that. So this will be ideal to do on Friday. So I believe that this is a recommendation for us to cleansing rituals are important because remember that sometimes we carry things energetically that it's important to let go of. So I think this ritual will work for you, okay? Besides, I really love the art of the deck. I think it's really beautiful too. So let's move on to the next one. Archangel Chamuel. I think that's the name. In Spanish, we say Chamuel, okay? But I'm not sure about the pronunciation in English. So let's read the card for you. Archangel Chamuel. The ray of divine love or of Archangel Chamuel, the day of regency of this archangel is on Tuesdays. It penetrates our seven chakras and it helps us like recalibrate and elevate in a frequency of harmony and love. You can light up a pink candle on Tuesdays and rub it with jasmine or rose essential oil, and you can meditate next to the candle for 10 minutes. I highly recommend you to search for a frequency, probably, that is connected to self love or it is connected to love if that's what you're manifesting to while you're meditating, okay? And then you can feel, or you can put some music, whatever works for you. And then while meditating, connect to your seven chakras. Remember that the seven chakras, because there are more, the main seven chakras are locations in our body, except for the crown chakra that is supposed to be over here. And it's important to feel like a light that is coming out from your root chakra and going through all the seven chakras. And connect to that intention of recalibrating your chakras, okay? It helps you to clean your heart chakra as well. Focus on the heart chakra too, especially like to heal old wounds. I think it's relevant for the English community, probably. You're working to recalibrate and to cleanse old wounds. Again, remember that sometimes, I mean, we can open a new door if we don't cleanse what's behind us. If we don't leave things in the past where they need to stay, in the case of, I don't know, past relationship as an example, okay? As I brought the same message in Spanish, and I'm gonna bring it over here. Last Saturday on the 25th, Linkin Park was here in Bogota, and I went to that show, and that show was so cool. It was so amazing. And there was this song. They played this song called "Waiting for the End." I think I want to cry because every time I think about it, that in that moment I channeled so much that I was about to cry during the show. But then I channeled a lot of the messages when it comes to endings. As I said before, remember that a new door cannot be opened if you don't close the previous door, right? But that doesn't mean that endings aren't painful, because they are. They break our hearts and they hurt us a lot. But sometimes endings are necessary for us to open ourselves to new opportunities. But again, that doesn't mean that endings aren't painful. And well, while they were playing that song, by the way, that show was amazing. And I know that, and for rockers or people who love Linkin Park more with Chester back then, of course, he was amazing. I mean, but I believe that the insight that Emily has right now is really cool too. And they were playing the song over there, and I was so emotional at that time. I was about to cry. And right now that I'm bringing the message again, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I want to cry right now, but I'm not going to do that right now. I just want to bring the message to you because I believe it's relevant for both communities, for English and Spanish. Endings are painful, but sometimes are necessary for us to open ourselves to new beginnings. And especially when I want to talk about, I'm thinking about the Eight of Cups right now. That card talks about walking away, maybe from situations that don't serve you anymore. Walking away from something that is not for you, or is not for you maybe in that frequency, whatever. It requires a lot of strength from you. So if you are in that situation, or if you recently walked away from something that doesn't serve you, or if you're healing your heart from heartbreak, sending lots of love, because I know what I've been there before. I know what it's like to end something or to let go of someone you love so much. But yeah, okay, sending love. Let's continue with the next one. This card we got in Spanish too. I think it's a common message, and it's an invitation for us to work with the moon. For you guys specifically, for the water signs, this is a ritual for the new moon in a water sign. And here's my cat. I'm gonna leave him here for a while, but I'm gonna remove him later when I spread the tarot. But let's talk about it. So the next new moon will be in the sign of Scorpio, and it will be on November the 20th. Okay, happy birthdays to all Scorpios again. But yeah, the next new moon will be in a water sign. So I highly recommend you to keep this ritual, for you, so you can work with the new moon, like with the next new moon, the upcoming new moon that we have in November. I'm going to read it for you, okay? New moon in water signs, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Ideal to plant intentions of connect more with your intuition, with your psychic abilities. When there's a new moon in water signs, you can pray. Cancer, give me fertility, sensibility, and nutrition. Scorpio, give me, okay, let me search for that word, depth. Okay, sorry, baby. Sorry, I can't concentrate with him there. Let's continue. So, Scorpio, give me depth, transformation, and power. Pisces, give me empathy, canalization, and compassion. If you have a specific intention, you can journal it, what you're trying to manifest. That can work for you too in the next new moon. Remember, November the 20th, just FYI. And again, if you're watching me after November, you can search for the next new moon in water signs. I When I was doing the research, because I did the same exercise in Spanish, because we got the same card over there, I got a message that I want to share with you guys. So, influence. It starts a new 6-month cycle to clean old patterns, for profound transformation and renovation in emotional and personal aspects. Okay, so I'm gonna leave pictures of these in case that you speak Spanish or if you have someone who can translate for you. I'm gonna put all the 6 cards because I already did the Spanish reading, so I'm gonna put the 3 of you in the. Well, actually, I'm gonna put 5 because you got this one in common. Yes, in case that you're interested in checking any of their rituals for them too. Okay, so let's move on to tarot. I split here on the 10 of Pentacles. Do you see here? This doesn't happen normally that I split the deck and some cards slip out of it. So I'm gonna take it. But okay, let's get started with. Hold on. Normally I shuffle the deck, but since it's talking already, so I'm gonna leave it. So the 10 of Pentacles. Do you see here the little lady and like the ancestors and the DNA? This can talk about connecting with your ancestors. Maybe this is relevant for the water signs in the English community. Remember that for you to be where you are right now, there were a lot of people behind you, like your parents, your grandparents, your great great grandparents, and so on. So try to connect with your ancestors. Remember that who we are is basically half, genetically speaking, is half our father and half our mother. So this is a general reading, so take it as it resonates. But maybe this is an invitation to connect with your ancestors, to talk to your parents, to talk to your grandparents, to understand where you come from. Because remember that if we don't know where we come from, and this can talk about history too, like humanity history, but in this case, we're talking about like, where we come from as individuals with our family lineage. So it's important to connect with it. Actually, I was channeling too for generational things, curses, or generational patterns of behavior because sometimes we behave in a certain way and we don't even know why. But when we start digging into our family lineage, we notice that these maybe are parents that our parents did or our grandparents. And so try to connect with your ancestors, okay? This is, the first card that we got. Let's talk about these 3 that they slipped out of the deck, and I'm going to take them because, So we got air energy, the 2 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and we also had the 2 of Cups. I'm going to start with the Swords energy. So the 2 of Swords, do you see the little lady here almost on guard? She's blindfolded, but she's not tied, right? She's just there holding the swords and blindfolded. This can talk about a situation or something that is stuck, but it's on purpose. Because the feminine can just drop the swords, stand up, and take them, remove them. I forgot how to say it. So she can see again, but she's not doing it. So maybe it's a situation that it's on pause or it's still somehow, but this is intentional. Or maybe this is an invitation for you to take action with something that is stuck. Take it as it resonates. Since she's blindfolded too, this can talk about something that you don't see coming. I've been channeling this every now and then. I channel the message. Maybe for the water signs, this is relevant. Maybe you got something that you don't see coming. I'm not saying something necessarily bad, just something you don't see coming. So take it as it resonates. It can be good, it can be bad. I'm not sensing right now something bad in your energy, but take it as it resonates, okay? And this can also talk about denial because again, she's blindfolded. So remember that in life, denial is a part of the grieving process, right? But for manifestation or to live our life as we're supposed to, it's important to see things as they are, right? So maybe this is an invitation for you to start analyzing and seeing things as they are. And I'm not judging you, okay? I'm just saying because this is the message that I'm getting from the cards. Let's talk about the 10 of Swords. This can talk about endings. Earlier with the channel message that I was saying with Linkin Park. Sorry, I love them so much. We were talking about endings and how painful endings can be, but sometimes endings are necessary. So, do you see her over there just on the floor and with a lot of swords in her back. Remember that swords can be, it's related to air energy and it's related to thought as well. Maybe someone is feeling tortured with thoughts, take it as it resonates, but this can talk about an ending. Endings are painful, but sometimes are necessary for us to be open and receive new opportunities in life. And let's talk about the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups can talk about a sacred union. Do you see here the masculine and the feminine, divine guidance, and the cups over there? This can talk about union, yes, like soul connections, high level soul connections, twin flames, soulmates, take it as it resonates. But remember that to come into a sacred union, we need to find balance within ourselves, from our masculine and feminine energy too, from our light side and our shadow side, right? It's important because if we come to a sacred union and we are not prepared for the union, it's really likely that we miss a connection like this and turn a twin flame or a soulmate connection into a karmic connection. Take it as it resonates, okay? So now I think we can start with the shuffling the deck. Well, I'm gonna pick. Well, let me see where the reading takes us, and we're gonna go from there. Okay. Sorry, it's just that my cat wants to be here, but I'm not gonna let him because I can't work this way. Just hold on a moment, okay? Sorry. So, Spirit, what do we need to know for the water signs? No, babe. He's my baby and I love him, but no. So, okay, we got the four of wands in the reverse. You see, I'm gonna put it in the upright so you can see it. This can talk about also a sacred union. You see, you're getting a lot of union cards, but this one is in the reverse. This is likely to be a sacred union that is stuck for some reason. This can be anything. This can be third party. This can be divine timing. Remember that all these connections have divine guidance, as I was saying before. So for them to come together in the right manner or in the right way, divine timing is required. Maybe there are some lessons that we need to learn, right? Maybe there's something that we need to work on internally. Now that we were talking about leaving the past behind and healing our own wounds when it comes to our past, right? With the Argentinian deck, Oracle deck cards, we're talking about like letting go of the past and healing our own wounds. These things can keep a sacred union stuck. The message that I was getting here is that in these readings, normally, I believe, and this is my opinion, some tarot readers focus too much on what the other person needs to do. Are they going to contact me or are they not? Blah, blah, blah. I get it. I mean, we would love to know if the other person is going to contact us or not, as an example, that if you're going through no contact, whatever. But it's really important for us as well to not focus so much on what the other person needs to do or what the other person is not doing and go back to ourselves. Because remember that in this case, for sacred unions, these tend to be mirror connections. So if it's a mirror connection, all you can do sometimes is just put the energy back into yourself and heal, start your own healing process or go on in your healing process, because remember that healing can go like a roller coaster. I was thinking about the song Roller Coaster of Love. Just if it resonates for someone. It's really good. But yeah, basically remember that healing is basically a roller coaster. You can't expect to be fully healed. Nobody is. And some days you're gonna feel like really down. Some days you're gonna feel really up. So it's a roller coaster, right? But try to focus on what you can do for yourself. And if this is a mirror connection, all you can do sometimes is to trust that the other person is doing the work too, so you guys can come together. So this can be not stuck anymore, and you can come together and get married and all that in a healthy and beautiful way. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, I'm gonna take this one. This is the Magician. I'm gonna talk about it in a moment. We had a knight. and a queen. Okay. Okay, we got many cards. I'm gonna leave it here with the energies for the general reading, and I'm gonna move to the signs afterward because we got 5 cards. Okay. Let's talk about the energies because we had a lot of energies here. It's really interesting because we got a lot of fire energy. So here it is. Actually, I'm gonna show it because it's basically like the order of something. Here is the page of Wands. Okay, fire energy, Leo, Aries, Scorpio. Here's the Knight of Wands, and here's the Queen of Wands. This is feminine energy. We didn't get the King, but it's really cool because there's the page, then the Knight, then the Queen, right? Step by step. I'm thinking about this as if someone is going through a path of taking action or maybe developing a project, and it's like going from the page to the queen. Masculine energies take it as the king, right? I'm just saying queen because this is the energy that we got, but in your case take it as, the masculine energy, which will be the king. Remember that this is your opposite, right? Your water, and this is fire. So you can take it as someone you're connecting with, probably a fire sign. Take it if it resonates, and if not, remember that even though, as an example, I'm a Libra, I'm an air signs, you guys are water signs, but all of us have a little of every part of the energy. So fire energy will apply for you too somehow. So take it if it resonates for you too. Remember that all of them are in the upright, so I don't sense many obstacles or setbacks to work on your goals. You're probably actually really structured and really oriented to your projects, which I love. I mean, I love that energy for you. Like working on your things and manifesting, materializing your desires. I love that. This can talk about also energy too, right? Probably this is, if you're thinking about a person, this can be someone who is working to take action toward you, but it's really structured because you see like how it's growing from the page to the queen. And I love that, to be honest, because I mean, I believe that love requires strategy. Love isn't a game. I always say this: love is not a game. Love is a divine force, and love is not something to be messed with. It's not a game, but it requires strategy. So if you're thinking about someone, this may be someone who is like strategizing how to approach you. Or if you're already in a connection, this can be someone who is strategizing how to take it to the next level. Take it if it resonates. Or if it's you, take it as it resonates. But I want to highlight here the black cat energy. Do you see her with the black cat over here? Cats are significant. I actually, as you saw before, I have a cat. It's really beautiful. It's not a black cat, but still. So black cat energy. This is really connected to your element because remember at the beginning of the reading, I was saying that in the witch's pyramid, your element is connected to keep things quiet, to keep silent. So this is another invitation to keep things private. If you're working on a project or manifesting something into reality, other people's intentions can affect that manifestation because this part of life, it is what it is. Some people out there want to see you succeed but not to see you doing better than them, so you never know other people's intentions when they interact with you. Or as an example, be careful with what you post on social media too. Okay, because again, you don't know other people's intentions, as an example, when they are watching your stories. Okay, so take it as it resonates. Let's talk about the Nine of Swords. You had a lot of Swords energy. This is Air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But you had the Two of Swords, the Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. But I'm going to talk specifically about this. So, do you see I think it's a feminine, I'm not sure, that is just like as if she just woke up from a nightmare when you're so scared that you just need to touch your face and go back to reality because you just had a horrible nightmare. That's kind of the energy. This can talk about maybe sleepless nights, This can be you, this can be someone you're connecting with. Take it as it resonates. Maybe for you or both of you, because that you're thinking about a connection, are going through cases of insomnia or sleepless nights. So try to regulate your sleep schedule. I know that if you're thinking about probably heartbreak or financial issues, those things can keep us up at night. But remember that for our mental health, I'm saying this as a psychologist, sleeping is important. So try to work on your sleep schedule. Okay, try to be away from your phone or away from, you know, like any appliances near in your bedroom, so you can have a better sleep somehow. So this is what I'm getting out of these cards, okay? But sending love, because I mean we're talking about endings and sleepless nights, so it's kind of a dark energy for you. But remember that one day you will look back and understand why did this happen and why are you going through this. Everything will be resolved in the end. For you, for the better, for you and for the other person involved in case that you're thinking about someone. But sending lots of love, okay? Let's talk about the magician to move on to the signs. So the magician, number one, this can talk about manifestation. It came up in the upright, so I don't sense any. If it was in the reverse, it would be probably manipulative people around you, or maybe a hard invitation to question your intentions behind your manifestations. But I'm not sensing fully that energy because the card came up in the upright, and again, I'm not channeling that energy right now. Sorry. But let's talk about manifestation. Remember that to manifest, we always manifest from a place of love, right? We always manifest for the better for us and for all beings on earth. So the invitation of this card is to question your intentions behind your manifestations and to connect to that master manifestor that we all have inside of us. And if you're there, take advantage in the best way, again, with, your intentions to bring your manifestations to reality. I really love the connection with the elements in this card. Do you see the fire here, water, your element, air, and earth? This brings me back to the witch's pyramid. Side note, I normally do cross reference readings, and in the description of this video, I will leave the link with the reading in which I explained in great detail about the witch's pyramid if you're interested, to connect with that analogy to manifest, okay? But again, the witch's pyramid is a connection with sacred geometry, an analogy to connect sacred geometry with the elements to manifest. And I believe this is my personal opinion, your element, water, is like the most important to manifest and to bring things to reality without other people affecting us. Going back to the black cat energy, it's important to keep things private, okay? I think it's a hard message for you guys. I know that sometimes out of, because we're proud of what we're working on and everything with the best intentions, we want to tell other people. But again, be calculated with what you share on social media or with what you tell other people, because you never know other people's intentions when it comes to you, okay? Let's move on to the signs, okay? So I want to start with Pisces, okay? So Spirit, let me just, wow, the Emperor. I'm going to take it for you guys, Pisces. This is the Emperor, divine masculine energy. This is the master of the four kings. This is Aries. The ENG can be significant. The ENG. Um, Here I work a lot with Egyptian archetypes. I really love their culture, and every time I can, I've channeled here a lot of Egyptian deities. Um, but this is probably an invitation for you to connect with your divine forces. This can be anything. Divine forces can be archangels, can be God, can be the universe, can be feminine and masculine archetypes. Take it as it resonates. But probably this is also an invitation for you to connect with your divine forces. Now, but the Emperor, again, the master of the four kings, divine masculine energy, really hot energy. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, this is someone who is really confident, who can be really good in business, who strategizes. Now, earlier that we were talking about love, that love isn't a game, but it requires strategy. So the Emperor will be an energy, a masculine energy who strategizes to get what he wants. So masculines, this may be you. You're going, you're going in that divine masculine energy when it comes to the Emperor. You know, for Pisces, divine masculines. Or if you're a feminine, probably you have an Emperor checking you out. Just saying, okay? But let's continue. So let's go. Spirit, what do we need to know for Pisces? What's up with them? I'm gonna leave it there. No, I'm gonna take one more. I got two. A lot of fire energy for you. Let's go back to the Emperor, and I wanna bring this. This is the Hierophant, Taurus energy. So Pisces, there's a sacred union, probably with an Emperor. If you're the Emperor, you're probably thinking about your Empress, because this the Empress didn't come up here, but this will be counterparts. If you're an Emperor, you probably don't have your eyes set on a regular woman, a regular feminine. If you're a feminine, you probably again have an Emperor checking you out, but this is basically a sacred union, because the Hierophant can talk about. Do you see here like Buddha with the divine guidance, the feminine and the masculine? This can also talk about a need to balance our mind and our heart, because we see it here in the card. But I mean, what I'm seeing from the cards is just basically a sacred union with a really hot Emperor. Just saying, okay? Take it as it resonates. We also had a lot of fire and air energy with the wands. Here's the Five of Wands. You see people here just hitting each other with wands. It's going to talk about conflict, internal conflict maybe, but also like conflict with other people. In situations of conflict, I always recommend you like to stay away, not to engage, but do whatever you want. This is a general reading. But yeah, be aware of situations of conflict around you, maybe at work, maybe in love, This actually makes me think about another reading that I made. If you're resonating with this, I'm gonna leave another reading here in the recommended readings, and that is probably the best reading I've made. It's called A Love as Deep as the Ocean. And that reading was talking about hidden emotions. Sorry, I'm just getting chills. Uh, this can be confirmation too, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because that reading was so cool. It was so awesome and so weird. It was around the lunar eclipse that we had in September. So yeah, those readings around the eclipses were crazy. I'm gonna leave it here in case that you're interested and you want to watch it, okay? Let's talk about these two. The Eight of Wands. This is the minor arcana when it comes to patience, right? It's important to be patient. I believe this came up in the upright, so I don't sense this is an issue, but just FYI. It's important to be patient when it comes to our manifestations, okay? So try to question the attitude you have while you're waiting for something. This can be anything, okay? It's a general reading. But remember that patience is not the wait itself, but it's how you behave or how you react when something is delayed, as an example. So take it as it resonates. And there's the Ten of Wands. This can talk about success, maybe after a journey of action, right? But this can also talk about a lot of responsibilities. Do you see him with a lot of burdens? It's important to negotiate or to communicate, right? I don't know, when you're overloaded at work, when you have too much on your plate, remember that you can ask for help, right? This is the invitation of this card, okay? So let's move on to Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios. It's your season. I'm gonna take the Ace of Cups. It's in the bottom, and the Lovers. It's really interesting because this exactly happened in the reading in Spanish. I got in the bottom of the deck the Ace of Cups, and next to it was the Lovers. I think it's a message, a really specific message, but I'm getting it for you guys, for the Scorpio. You're wedding your seasons. So, what else do we need to know? Let me accommodate over here. So, sorry, this is I have a lot of cards, so I'm gonna just, clean my space. So, I'm gonna get this message out of the way. If this is the Seven of Pentacles. Do you see here just kind of harvesting the Pentacles over here? This can talk about success. Maybe you're working on a project and you're starting to see your first results in that project, or if it's an ongoing project, it's solid, it's going well. But do you see this pentacle over here? This can talk about adjustments, okay, Scorpios? So this is an invitation to remember that not everything is perfect and we always have things in which we can improve. And if we're thinking about a project, it's important to take a look at the things that we need to adjust in that project. So it's more solid and it's more successful, and because maybe this adjustment that we may be ignoring may be something that crumbles our project or really affects our project if we don't pay attention to it. So the invitation of this card is to take a look at the things that you need to adjust. I'm channeling specifically a project, but take it as it resonates, okay? For anything. It's important to take a look at things and be prepared for the things that maybe this is a small pentacle over here that we need to adjust, but if we overlook it and we don't do anything about it, this can become a problem in the future, okay? What else? Oh my god, let's talk about, I'm sorry, it's just that I don't know how to interpret this. Because this can go many ways. So let's get started with the Ace of Cups. So this is your energy, water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But do you see here the overflow state? Like, remember that the principle of love is self-love, right? And I think it's in the upright. I think you're there. Many of you, probably in the collective for Scorpios, have been working on your self-love. To love yourself so much that you attract what's meant for you. And I love that energy for you. Remember that this is the right way to do it. We don't search for love from a lack mindset. Not love, not money, not anything, right? We attract because we know we're abundant, because we know we're beautiful, because we know we love ourselves. That's the right way to attract love, by loving yourself. Now, oh my god, okay, I want to talk about these three. There's the Page of Cups. This is your energy, you know. You see her here. She's a feminine, but take it as it resonates. Masculines for YouTube. She's kind of rising the cup. This can be someone who is working on their emotional side. I've been channeling a lot, especially in the Spanish community, but this can apply here too. I've been getting a lot of water signs who hide their emotions, or maybe who have issues to like regulate your own emotions. Talking about emotional regulation here, but it's in the upright, so probably this is, some of you are probably working on that emotional side to connect to your emotions, which I love, especially because this is your element. It's important to connect to your element, and water is connected to emotions by default. So I love to see that energy for you. But this can also talk about a third party. I'm gonna explain why. That's why I was a little confused and saying why, how should I go with this? So I'm gonna interpret both ways. This can be you're working on your emotions, or this can be a third party in a situation. Here's the Two of Wands. This can talk about travel. Do you see the world? She's carrying the world over here. The beach can be significant. Maybe you live next to the sea, and I envy you. I live in a big city, really far from the sea, but I like to go to get tan and to go to the beach every now and then. But this can talk about travel, overseas travel, maybe, or maybe you want to travel somewhere. So the sign of this card is just do it. Find ways to accomplish that. This can talk about a decision. You see the two wands over here. This can talk about left, right path choices. So it's a choice. And there's the Lovers. I want to bring my nails because do you see here? I painted my nails. Actually, to talk about the Matrix scene, really soon I'm gonna watch the movies and bring analogies from the Matrix in another video. But I painted my nails this way because I've been channeling a lot of the Matrix energy. So do you see here that this is a masculine, but this can be, feminine or masculine energy. If you're the feminine and you probably have a choice to make between two masculines, take it if it resonates to you. But here in the card, you see a masculine with two feminine options. This is the going back to matrix option. The feminine is holding him from the back. And there's the escape the matrix option. She's holding his heart. So this is probably a choice that needs to be made when it comes to love. And this can involve a page of cups. Take it if it resonates, okay? But yeah, I mean, if you're in that, you know, place in which you need to choose between two energies, connect to your intuition, trust in your intuition, make the best choice for you, right? And in the end, you're gonna be fine. And in these situations of three, someone's heart is gonna break anyway. Just be gentle with other people's feelings, okay? But make the best choice for you. You can choose to escape the matrix or stay in the matrix. Take it as it resonates. And let's close the reading with Cancer, okay? So, Spirit, what do we need to know for Cancers in the English community? Oh my god! One more. Okay. So, Cancers. We got the Star card. This is Aquarius energy, but the Star card can talk about wish fulfillment, make a wish. It doesn't have to be your birthday, or shooting star doesn't have to, going through the sky for you to make a wish. As long as your wish and your intentions, going back to the magician, as long as your intentions are pure, all wishes come true. This can also talk about emotional regulation. Do you see her here with the, I don't know if it's with the jars of water. So this can talk about emotional regulation. I need to connect to your emotions, or maybe you're already connecting with them, which I love, especially because again, water is your element. So yeah, this can talk about maybe you're someone's wish fulfillment, or you're shining so much that someone sees you as everything they want for them. Take it if it resonates, okay? But I love that energy for you. Okay, let's talk about the six of. This card can talk about migration, or this card can talk about maybe a need to travel somehow for work, for studying. This is general, take it as it resonates. And maybe a need to know another culture. I was channeling that. Maybe a need to see the world, to connect to people from another culture, to see something else in life. Take it as it resonates. Again, this is general reading. Okay, let's talk about this. The Knight of. Do you see him here, like kind of cynical, like not trusting anything or anyone, holding the wand? He was hit. He was hit in the head before, and there's the other ones standing. This card is an invitation to not let the past define your future. Remember that the toxic ex is not everyone will behave like your toxic ex, or not all jobs are as toxic as your last job. You see what I'm saying? It's important to look back to learn the lessons, but we need to forgive ourselves from the past, forgive ourselves for the things we did in the past, forgive other people for their mistakes too, and learn the lessons and move on. Because if we stay in the past, if we stay too much in the past, we can allow the past to dictate our future, and that will cause us to miss opportunities. Take it easy if it resonates, okay? Now let's talk about this. This is the Ace of Swords. I saw the Ace of Swords when I was shuffling, but I didn't take it, so I'm gonna take it now because it came up in the shuffle. And the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles can talk about juggling. Take it as it resonates. Maybe too much on your plate at work, many responsibilities you need to deal with. Try to find ways to stabilize that, especially when it comes to work. But if it's love, I mean, don't play with other people's hearts. Don't play with their time. You know, be careful with that. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying. But the Ace of Swords has to do with the truth. It talks about truth. Maybe the truth about a third party will come up. I'm just saying. Maybe you need to speak your truth about something that is holding you back, or you're doing too much, like at work as an example, and you need to speak your truth. But I'm resonating more with maybe the truth about a third party or about a juggling situation is going to come to the light. Take it as it resonates, okay? So people, thank you so much for watching. At Always Worshipper, I like a comment, a subscription. You help me a lot with that. You can follow me on Instagram or in my Oracle in TikTok at Always Worshipper, same name as the channel, okay? Thank you. Bye bye.